All right, so we're hopping into my final round of beating Bam, round 4. I had a horrible round 2, so I kind of just gave up on recording. But I figured maybe I'll have a good last round, so I hit record. This is kind of most of that round. Sorry about the dang ESPN notification there. So we got the water skip paradigm, had a great shot here. Here we're trying to line up. I felt better about the forehand with the logic here. Aim just off to the left a little bit. And add some power, of course, because it's forehand. And I was really hoping this would go. Emily's got the hiccups next to me. And we got that eagle, so that was a nice throw in. Moving on to hole 3. This was the PD for me. This is a tough wind, so I had to be real careful. So I aimed quite a bit lower because of this wind and put some more hyzer. Sounds like the instinct would have made it in this wind, but I hadn't tried it, so I wasn't sure. So I just made sure. I've thrown the shot a bunch of times. I used to use a PD all the time. Now I use the Roll Sapphire. Maybe not the best disc choice there, but it worked out for me. And we got another birdie. This next hole, probably could have air shot it with the PD2, but I liked this Paradigm water skip line. My goal was to show all these lines. If you watched my video, try to get Daniel to go for some of them, maybe mess them up, but I actually really liked some of these, so I went ahead and went with them. This one worked really well. I tried it multiple times in different winds, and this power down water skip Paradigm for a lot of these holes worked great for me. This next hole was a tough challenge in this wind. We got a 3 headwind. I'm still going to go for it, try to skip it over the river with Glide Skip DD1. We got a little too much into the trees, and it kind of lucked out because it slowed us down enough to where we didn't even make it to the water. Ideally, I would have gotten around those trees, but no such luck. So at this point, we're just playing for birdie unless we get a lucky throw in. This wasn't a very great second shot, so it kind of eliminated any hope I had at throwing it in for eagle. From way back here, 436 feet, so not likely. But from here was a great distance just for the headwind. Throw the PD2 and let it kind of combat that headwind, get a little more distance out of it. That was a pretty good shot. Could have been better. Probably could have gone the skip DD2, but that was her DD1. So birdie there is not horrible. This one with the DD1, just kind of like I practiced, just a nice high aim with this 2 wind. I aimed a little more to the right because it was a 2 right to left wind. Unfortunately, I caught the tree here, so I'm making this one more difficult than I needed to. 517. I went ahead and went with the PD2 here. Figured it would carry, and I kind of did not put enough anhyzer, but it got up there to where I'm 74 feet. Still a tough shot, especially with the throwing disc I'm not extremely comfortable with, but I am getting more and more comfortable with this logic. And I was able to knock that in and save the birdie. So we got a decent round going. Hole 7. This one probably would have been smarter just to go PD on a backhand. Probably would have been the perfect disc for this actually, but I just loved this line that I found, so I wanted to try it. So slide up, water meets the mountains there, and put a little bit of hyzer and power down. And I just felt really good about this line. And I wanted to test it out in an actual match. And I thought I was out of it anyway at this point, so I figured what the heck. And it ended up pretty perfect for me. So no complaints there. And we're able to get the nice eagle that we probably could have got with the PD, but a lot more fun with that line. This next hole, Northern Lights 3, another tough win that we had. I decided because of this wind, I didn't think the PD was going to give me enough to reach the second time, so I really like the PD2 here. This is something I do often anyway. If it's a tough wind, I'll throw the Light Glide Rive instead of the Sapphire just to get a little more distance, and it's usually still pretty controllable, and you're able to get it in bounce. This one slipped off to the right a little bit, but I have a little bit of an opening here. So I decided to go right under these branches with the PD. Still gonna have to put some ante on it, even with that right to left, just to make sure it gets over there before it starts to come back. And this looks pretty great at this point. I was just worried it might slip long, but stayed in bounce, and we get a nice birdie on that difficult hole there in that wind. Same with this last hole. We had another tough wind on Lakeside 9. So a 3 right to left headwind. So I almost was thinking about doing something weird, but I decided to stick with the plan, go with the instinct, try to get as close to the logs. I took kind of a different aim, went a little bit higher so I can flex it more and try to get a little more distance out of it, and it kind of worked out for me. I was able to get a little closer to the log than if I had used my regular line. And then from here, I was kind of debating whether I needed a backhand or if I could get there with a forehand. And I thought if I aimed kind of high and let the wind kind of take it and fly a little farther, then it would buy me some distance. And it actually worked out pretty well for me. I was able to get home in one skip, nice flat landing, and finish off hole 9 with a nice eagle. Felt pretty good about this round. I knew I left a couple strokes there, but I knew 15 down was a pretty good score here. And I think that put me within 3. No, I mean, I was down by 3 going into that round. So basically, if he shoots 12 under or better, then he ties me or beats me. So I need him to shoot 11 under or worse in order to beat him. So that second round kind of screwed me. This is taking a look at the leaderboard here right after I finished. What am I, tied for 10th there? So I just wish I would have had a better second round. I could have been up there with the big boys, but unfortunately we're down a ways. Still a lot of people left to play, so I wasn't sure if I had much chance. I was just checking here to see if anyone else had shot 15 under, and I don't think anyone had at the time. But here we go. This is just now after Daniel finished. You can see we got John, Judah, and Steve are all at 46 down. 2 of those guys shot 15 under on the last round, like myself. I finished tied for 15th, so not too bad. And my trap worked. Daniel tried a few of my lines. I set him up. No, he just had a rough round, did not play very well the last round. So this will be my first time beating Bam, thanks to a solid 4th round. We're able to beat him. A lot of people did. I think like 70 something. So there he is, tied for 79th. So 78 people were able to beat him this time. He just had a really rough final round. But it's nice to finally beat him. I'll take it. I wasn't my best, but it is what it is. Daniel's messing me right now. But there you go, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that last round, and good luck in the next Beating Bam event.